Hello everyone, it's Nina. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm here with Pretty Pink Posh and I'm going to be sharing with you a card for our Easter week theme. This is a really fun week that we've had all sorts of Easter themed projects being shared on the Pretty Pink Posh blog, so be sure to head on over there to check out some of the other projects if you haven't already. So for today's card, I'm going to be using this Happy Easter Lawn Fawn stamp set with conjunction a bunch of other Pretty Pink Posh products. So I've got the window frames die set. I really love these. These are brand new to March. And I've also got the picket fence die. I originally thought I was going to also use the new stitch border dies, but I didn't end up using them for this project. Things kind of changed as I went along. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and start inking up my stamps using the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black dye ink. I love this ink for my Copic coloring, which is what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to go ahead and start stamping all of my images onto some white cardstock. I'm using some light browns here, and I'm going to go ahead and start adding some shading in for this bunny. I'm keeping it fairly simple because they are pretty small. I'm going to add a little bit of blush with some light pink markers. I'm going to put some pink colors along the edges of where his belly is and also along the ears and his cheeks. It really adds some cuteness to the images when you add that blush. So now I'm going to work on the little birdie. He is so adorable. I just love this little bird. I'm going to use some yellows for him, and I'm going to shade him in and add some blush to him as well, like I did for the bunny. I've got all the colors that I'm using listed on the side of the screen for easily reference. I also colored in the little eggs. I've used 1 to 2 colors for each portion of the egg. So here you can see I've got some pinks and some teal colors, and I'm adding some shading using the second marker. And I'm going to go ahead and color all the eggs in a variety of pinks, teals, blues, and yellows. I also added some tulips, and I colored a bunch because I wasn't sure how many I was going to end up wanting for my card. So I colored 3 of each one, and I only end up using 1 of each color. I used yellow, blue, and pink. And then I'll go ahead and fussy cut those out using some fine tip scissors. So here I've got the bunny, and I'm going to go ahead and cut him out. As you can see, I'm cutting this fairly quickly because I've sped the video up. But I just quickly go around all the portions of the image and leave a white border, just like as if I die cut it. I used some Cutter Bee scissors to cut those out. So now I'm going to create the window for my card. I'm going to be using the Simon Says Stamp Stitch rectangle dies, and I'm lining that up. And I'm going to die cut the window frame die inside that rectangle here. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. And once I run that through, I'm going to go ahead and remove the top panel. You can see the negative piece. We're going to use that for the back portion of our scene, for where all of our elements are going to sit on top of. And here's the frame that's going to be popped up off of the background. So it's going to have like almost like a recessed inlay die cutting. So here is the background, and I'm going to be using some cracked pistachio distress ink to go ahead and add some color to the sky. I wanted to do something a little bit more non-traditional, so I'm going to go ahead and use this teal color instead of a normal blue. And I think it really adds some nice interest to the sky and really makes the card pop. For the grass, I also used some Shabby Shutters distress ink, and I'm going to go ahead and just put a light coating along the top and really darken it up towards the bottom. And sorry, my camera got a little out of focus on this. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. I'm going to add some adhesive along the back side of my little grass strip. And I'm going to attach this down onto the picket fence, which I had die cut from some white cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and press that down good. Once I've got that adhered, I'm going to go ahead and put some foam tape along the back side. And that's going to let this pop off of my sky background. To add some shading to the grass, you could leave this flat color, but I wanted to add some texture, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Copic markers and add some shading. I just flick some color along the grass in a variety of different green shades, and this is going to create the look of grass blades for my scene. Really adds some nice dimension and texture. So once I've got that shading done, I'm going to go ahead and start putting my scene together. I've popped the bunny and the bird up off using some foam tape, and I also tucked a little bit of a cloud border, which is from Lawn Fawn as well. It's from the Puffy Cloud border dies. I tucked that behind the fence, and now I'm going to go ahead and put my little eggs down and my tulips. I'm just using some PPA matte adhesive, trying to figure out the placement of all of my little images. For my window, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the Peeps background, which is from Simon Says Stamp. I just love this background. It's really, really cute. And I'm going to use some Ulta Buttercream dye ink. I love this buttercream color. It's such a soft, beautiful yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down onto my window frame to give it a little bit of a more interesting texture and a pop of color. So I'll just ink that up, and I'm using my Misty tool. I took the foam insert out. You can do this to go ahead and be able to use the Misty with your cling stamps. It's really nice to be able to let your cling stamps be able to be used as well as your clear stamps. So once I've got that all stamped, I'm going to go ahead and use my foam tape again. I'm going to put this on the back side of my panel. Then I'm going to go ahead and attach this down onto my card base. This is an A2 size card. I'm putting some adhesive along the inside portion of where my scene is going to get fit inside. And you can see I'm just going to go ahead and fit that in there and press it down good. I love how it creates this recessed look to the scene. It really makes for a fun card design. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. This is from that same Happy Easter stamp set from Lawn Fawn. I'm going to stamp this onto some vellum. This is Bazzill 40-pound vellum. I used some VersaFine Black Onyx ink, and I'm going to be putting some black embossing powder on top. I like using the black VersaFine ink underneath my black heat embossed images because this really helps make it really have that nice deep black color. I fussy cut that sentiment out, and now I'm going to go ahead and pop it up off of my card using some clear Cool Tack foam tape. I love this tape because it's clear and you cannot see it through the vellum. It really makes for great dimensional elements on your card when you're using vellum. So I'll just go ahead and pop that up, and then finally I'm going to add some Pretty Pink Posh Easter Mix sequins. These are brand new for March as well, and I've also scattered a few iridescent mini hearts. I love these little hearts. They are so sparkly and fun and really great for adding to your card. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to stop over at the Pretty Pink Posh blog where you can get more information on this card, including the still pictures. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment, and thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you enjoyed, here's another video you might like featuring Pretty Pink Posh products. Thanks again for watching. You can find me on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, as well as my blog. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching.